besties, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well, taking care. And today we have a little bit of a different video. We are going to be reviewing this ImpressArt Essential Bracelet Kit. We're going to create a metal stamp bracelet with this kit and review it. Right before we start this video, I want to clarify that I ordered this a long time ago and I had an issue with their first package, which I'll be showing the photos because it literally looked all used, and because of the way it was packaged, it had a lot of markings and it just didn't look like brand new. Well, I asked for like a return. I applied for a return and yeah, their service was good. They sent me another one. I didn't have to return mine. That's what they told me, and the other kit looked exactly the same. So I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm not getting another one. Other than that, ImpressArt is pretty cool, but I do have to criticize the way they packaged this essential kit because everything just looked very bad. Other than that, the kit is fully functional and I hope you enjoy this review. It's not a tutorial, it's a review. The tutorial will be later because it's the first time I make one of these bracelets and it takes a while to understand how to make them. Now let's start off by unboxing this kit. I want you all to observe and see how it all came packaged. It's not very well packaged on the inside. I really didn't like that. Other than that, it did bring everything and included the bracelet guides, the stamp enamel sample, the bracelet bending bar to bend it into shape, also the bracelet bending pliers, and it also included 8 bracelet blanks. They're both different sizes and length, which I will put on the screen for reference. So other than that, the rest of the materials that you would technically need to create your bracelet, I already have them, which would be your metal stamps, your bench block, your steel block, and all that stuff. And I want you all to quickly observe how they package this. As you can see, for some reason they decided that zip tying everything together was a proper way to package something that is, well, quite expensive in my honest opinion. It is worth it, but it's expensive because, let's be honest, metal stamping materials are very expensive on their own, and honestly I just waited for a sale to get this kit because I've been keeping my eye on it for a while. So here it is. You can still use this kit. It's just that the way that they package it with the zip ties, it left markings on most of the items, and the bracelet bending bar looked a little scratched and weird. I don't know why. It just had these weird textured markings and I didn't understand why. And I don't appreciate that these markings on the bracelet bending plier are not gonna go away, it's gonna stay there. It's kind of unpleasant when you pay for something and it doesn't completely look nice. So ImpressArt, if you ever see this video, please change the way you package this kit, and I hope you don't package the ring kit like this either. I highly recommend that you get your metal stamp materials in kits because when you do the math, individually buying the materials is literally the same price as buying a whole kit. So it's much better to get a kit, and if you can't at the moment, wait until they do discount and sales. Those help very much. Or just check on eBay, some people are selling their kits. And now it's obviously time to put this kit to the test. This is the first time that I'm creating this type of bracelet, so this is not going to be a tutorial yet. After gathering the additional materials that you're going to need, you're going to start off to set this in a table. Make sure it's stable because when you're going to do this, you need a lot of precision and also a lot of practice because aligning the letters even with the sticker guide is not easy at all. So I basically started off by taking pieces of electrical tape and putting them on my metal bench block. This is a new one. I got this one on Amazon. If you're interested, it's very good. It's much larger and it's much better to work on. I basically did this to cover it and prevent the bracelet from scratching because when I used to stamp the necklaces, sometimes it would scratch, so I just decided to cover it. It doesn't affect your project in any way. It protects it way better. Now I peeled off one of the sides of the protective tape / layer that the bracelet has just to start off, and I left the other side of it on to prevent it from scratching. I'm gonna be honest with all of you, aluminum is very easy to damage and scratch. It's a very soft metal, so it's better to be safe. So I just took a bracelet guide. Basically, it says to write the letters spaced out underneath the blue lines it has. So please excuse the way I write very ugly, I am aware. Other than that, basically has the long orange line is the middle, and the other orange lines are kind of like the space that usually between each letter or logo stamp that you're going to use. I accidentally smushed it, but that doesn't matter because this is still can be used. So this bracelet guides, I don't know how to describe the material. It's supposed to be a sticker, right? But it feels like a very rough label type of sticker. It's very thick and almost like cardboard feeling, and I didn't like it that much because when you put it on, it didn't really stick on. It was just on there, but the purpose should be to stick on and to hold your bracelet stamp in place. I just simply made the decision to take 2 pieces of my electrical tape and put it in each corner to try to keep the blank as most stable as possible, because when it moves it just makes it very difficult yet an accurate stamping. After adding the 2 pieces of electrical tape in each corner to secure this blank, I started off by trying to engrave this stamp that I have. I remind you all, when engraving symbol stamps, sometimes it takes a little bit of more force to do it, but I may have or may have not made a couple of mistakes because, like I said, this is my first time creating with this type of bracelet. It seems as if the bracelet blank is more thinner than what I'm used to, which is the blanks to make the necklaces. So this one is like kinda easier to engrave on, but at the same time you have to be careful because I messed up real bad. So I may have or may have not scratched a part of it, but that doesn't matter because this is not for selling, this is just for practice. But it does make it look kind of ugly. But we're just gonna keep going, keep testing this kit. I tried my best to follow the sticker guide, but it ended up not looking 100% aligned. It kind of ended up looking a little bit diagonal. I am not sure if I used the sticker guide correctly, but I don't think the sticker guide has been very helpful for me other than knowing how to space the letters. But for the alignment, to make it 100% aligned the same, it did not work for me. Maybe I just need a little bit more practice to get used to using these bracelet blanks because it is something different, something new. I personally found it a little bit more difficult to engrave these letters because the metal blank started to change shape and it started bending. You can kind of see it in some of these clips. That worries me a little bit, but I think you can fix that when you use the bracelet bending pliers. Another thing that I noticed is that the letters were maybe over stamped. I think that was my bad on my side until I get used to this type of bracelets, but it did leave markings of the letters on the other side of the blank, which is not very pleasant to look at. So after engraving the final 2 letters, it is time to test this enamel. I've never used enamel in any of my engravings. I use a Sharpie, it's much cheaper, but supposedly the enamel should be able to dry after a few minutes and you just wipe it off. So you don't have to polish it necessarily, but you can though. From what I understand, a little bit of this enamel goes a long way. You can literally put it on with your fingers. Just make sure to get it in every filling and just let it dry. It says 1 to 3 minutes. I waited 3 minutes, but I kinda didn't expect it to be like this. Enamel feels very weird to the touch. It's like a paste, it dries. It's very strange. I decided to wipe it off with a normal cloth. It was kinda easy to wipe off, but at the same time, it feels like when you put glue on your hand when you were in school and it would dry and you would peel it off. of feels like that, except that when you wipe it off, in this case, I don't know, it didn't fill in all the engravings. And I tried it again and it still came out the same way. The engravings didn't look filled at all. You could really notice it. So I switched to Sharpie and the Sharpie looked way better. This is done with Sharpie and I polished this to make it look this shiny. Now for the fun part is to use the bracelet bending bar. I tried to use it exactly as I saw in the video. And before that, obviously, I peeled off the back side because we're not gonna need that anymore. But you can kind of see what I said about the letters being seen behind this, but I don't think it matters that much because the part that's visible is the front part. So basically, you put the blank into this side and you push it with the palm of your hand, but don't over push it because I noticed that it will leave a mark. Just push it enough along the curve of this bracelet bending bar. You see how nicely that looked, and you're going to do the same thing to the other side. I actually kind of enjoy this part. It's very fun and it's easy. I thought it would be more difficult. And after this is basically just using the pliers to give it more shape, more roundness. Some people prefer it like this, but I prefer to give it that round shape instead of looking like an oval. So for the pliers, I found them kinda hard to pinch and use. Sometimes my hand was shaking a little bit. I could still do it, but you need some kind of force. Like you need a little more power to be able to push it and bend it all the way. And sometimes I found myself not being able to hold the bracelet itself correctly, so it would kind of move or slip a little bit, but I still did it and it looked pretty good. As for the review, I gave it a 5 out of 5. All the content inside this essential kit are indeed essential to create your bracelet. It's good. I really enjoyed it. Other than the damaged goods in the package, everything else was perfect to create the bracelet. It brings exactly everything you need. So it kind of exceeded my expectations in a way. And it's friendly to use. It's just that metal stamping itself takes a lot of practice, but other than that, I recommend it. And the bracelet looked very good, very high quality, and very fashionable. So I hope you enjoyed this review. Well, you have all reached the end of this review. I hope it was helpful. Let me know what you think about the review in the comments and tell me, would you buy this kit or not? And I will see you all next Saturday. Thank you so much. Bye.